Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. It's Jen here. I'm doing Pick a Card. If you have any ideas for Pick a Card readings, I'd leave it in the comments below. I did one that I think I got two views on. I don't know if it's two. It was not very many. So I don't know. It was about like self-improvement, and I guess no one gives a shit about self-improvement. It's overrated. Fuck it. But this one, let's focus, Jen, is what are they up to? So this could be an ex. I will read it with a romantic twist or a romantic slant, angle, whatever. But I don't know. It's going to come out how it comes out. And honestly, these readings sort of take on a life of their own, and I've learned to not fight it because maybe that's where the message is. So pick group 1, group 2, group 3. Pick a card or pick a crystal, and let's get going with group 1. Group 1. What are they up to? What's going on? What are they doing? What are you doing thinking about wasting energy wondering what they're up to? That's what I want to know. Probably everyone just clicked off all of group 1 just clicked off their video like, what a bitch. We're human. We want to know. I want to know. I was listening to this podcast I love, and they were saying how they saw this article that the best way to get over someone is to block, delete. Don't tell your friends, if you have mutual friends, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know what's happening. Don't stalk their social media. Don't look at old pictures. If you start thinking about them, train your mind to think about something else and just break that connection, because the more energy you keep that connection alive. And this is one thing that I follow Glennon Doyle on Instagram, and she was taking questions, and someone asked her, how do you feel about closure? And she said, and it just resonated with me, and I thought, so fucking right on. She's like, I don't believe in closure. I think closure is just a excuse to keep the drama going, to keep the connection. So anyway, that came up for you guys. What's at the bottom? I haven't been looking at the bottom. The Empress. So I feel like you nurtured this person, and you were open, and you were flexible, and you tried to support this person, and you can't support someone into changing. You can't disrespect someone into changing. You can't demand someone changes. They're going to change if they want to change, and if they perceive their behavior, usually it's a behavior, as a problem or something that needs to happen. And sometimes people need to get dumped by a lot of people. Sometimes people find someone that is codependent and will tolerate their abuse and never learn. But for someone to really want to change, it has to be something that they feel needs to happen and is of value. And so that may have been sort of the basis of the relationship with this person. You guys, whether it's timing or they would never be the right person, you guys were not compatible. So what are they up to? Ace of Swords, Seven of Swords, the Devil. They're not doing great. They may be doing, it doesn't mean like they're on the streets or something. They haven't learned their lesson. Okay? So I feel like they may even contact you and be like, I get it now. I fucked up. I was an asshole, I was selfish. So be careful. One, this person could come back with an apology that's really a pity party. That to me is a red flag. It's like, but I was just struggling. I have these things from childhood, and somehow excusing their behavior instead of accepting responsibility for it because it was still their behavior. Um, they may say it's kind of like, yeah, they have a lot of words. They have a lot of words. Um, they may even be, I mean, who knows? They may be posting shit about um, spiritual shit or something, but they're still an asshole. They're still a sneaky motherfucker. They lie. They're still not, I'm really painting a bad picture. This may not be anything like the person you're talking about, but the Seven of Swords is someone behaving badly. They may be better at hiding it. They may, some people have no idea that people you work with, once they get home, that they are, an asshole. Because usually people are pretty good about, this would be the classic narcissist, right? Who, if you know them superficially, or sometimes if you, they seem to save their narcissism for home, right? And are able to understand, to act a certain way at work, but at home, that's where it really comes out. So, yeah, this person has not really changed. And this is just reinforced with the devil. So they're still indulging in whatever their devil is, which again could be bad behavior. This could be a personality disorder. I'm not a therapist, but you are not going to change a personality disorder. We're not trained therapists. And again, if that person doesn't see that they need to change, what are they going to change if they don't even see anything that needs changing? So there's still, the devil energy. It could be a Capricorn. So it doesn't all Capricorns are the devil. Devil's in the details. Capricorn is a wonderful sign, but this person could get really stuck on things and what do I want to say? How they're perceived, painting a good picture, putting like their Instagram would be beautiful. Their house looks they're like superficial things. They put a lot of stock in superficial things and how things look, and maybe they drive an expensive car and have a big house, and but the depth to them really wasn't there. That's sort of a facade or a projection or it's like a facade that protects the ugliness that's inside them. Wow, this is really or the anger or the trauma or the sadness or whatever it is. But unfortunately, so they have not changed. If this person pops back up, proceed very cautiously. You may even hear about them. You may get some validation too about this person that you could have been villainized, right? And they're the victim. That's often one of these personality types. And so maybe they started dating someone else, and that person, they vilified you and everything's your fault. And you got a really bad reputation because of the smear campaign that was going on. That may be coming back around to bite them in the ass, and maybe someone else has gone out with this person, or they let their guard down. They need someone. This type of personality needs someone to take it out on, and it's just a matter of time before they find the next person, the next victim, you could even say. And so, and it can take, they can put up the facade for years or until they're married or until, there's something where they feel like they have control over that person or that person is close enough to them that it's a reflection or extension of them. So then they're like, oh, you never dress up, your car's dirty, your hair, like all of a sudden, because that's probably what they do inside. They think these superficial things are, or they don't understand depth of character, I guess, really. And then they start projecting that on the other person, and then this person really starts to, if they say, hey, I'm not perfect, I don't have time to or desire or money to get my car washed every day. It's ridiculous. Then you start seeing the real colors, so the true colors. So this person may be revealing and acting out, and you may hear about. Maybe you'll get some sort of validation. I mean, I would kind of be like, "Fuck you!" if someone came up to me after they were, just took things at face value and judged me for what's a second, without any real experience of me. But we do that all the time. I know I've done that. But on some level, it will be like, yeah, I told you, motherfucker, they're an asshole. These readings just, I don't know, they're just all over the place, but that's what came out. So we are going to go on to group 2. I haven't even decided what deck I'm going to use for group 2. What deck am I going to use for group 2? Let's use the After Tarot. Sorry. Group 2. I'm going to use the After Tarot for you. So the question is, what are they up to? But I'm just going to tell you, these readings take on a life of their own, and I just go with it because I figured that's what's coming out. You have 3 cards that kind of popped right up here, so let's take those. So what was the basis for this relationship? Whoops. 7 of Pentacles. So I felt like you may have had to give this person an ultimatum. You may have had to really sort of force things, or I think you were really patient, but then I think maybe time had passed and you assumed, since you guys were, you were staying at his house or her house there all the time, 3-4 months into it, that you were exclusive, and you find out they weren't, maybe. And they're like, well, we never talked about it. And well, I mean, it's true. If you haven't had that conversation, then you're not exclusive, right? But I would still be the same way. That, yeah, come on, we're together all the time, we text constantly, and I find out this person seeing someone else or whatever. There, it could just be a scenario where you guys were together for a long time and you finally were like, the fuck, are we getting married, or are we gonna, like, what's going on? And they were just like, when pressured, they were like, no. Like, they were just kind of there because it was comfortable, but they didn't, when push came to shove, they weren't going to make a long-term commitment. You may have felt like a fool, but really they were the fool, right? They were the fool that didn't realize what they had. Maybe they left you for someone else. Wow. Okay, so this is an impulsive person. This is a person who probably love bombs people, who jumps right in, who loses them. This is the type of person that when they get a new boyfriend or girlfriend, they disappear. And they're just all in all at once. And that's actually a red flag. And I feel like they just are repeating the same pattern. So they may be someone new. They may have moved on very, very fast. And you might be like, what the hell? This could even be, someone who then gets married. But it's weird. I'm getting the sense that it's almost like I don't know if it will last, because it almost feels like they're doing it just to, not that it's all about you, but to prove something, to prove to themselves or whatever that a truth about them isn't true. So I don't know if this is long lasting or not, because with the honeymoon period card, this could be someone that gets engaged. Oh my God, like J-Lo. Holy crap. I'm embarrassed that I know about this, but I feel like I can't escape it. It's in my news feed. I just couldn't imagine being married or engaged that many times. I'm not J-Lo though, so it's not. I don't have anyone knocking down my door. Yeah, I feel like they jumped right into a new relationship, and they're in the honeymoon period, and just like, yeah, I'm in love, but I don't know if I don't foresee this lasting. It seems like just the same old pattern, that they're just repeating the same old pattern over and over again, and not listening, not heeding the warning, and just doing the same thing. But it may hurt. I'll say that the same thing I said to group one. I probably say this in all my love readings when it comes about a past person. But at this podcast I was listening to, they were reading some article that just said the best way to get over someone is complete no contact, 100% cold turkey. Do not stalk them, on social media, block them. Don't, if you have mutual friends, tell them I don't want to know, I don't want to hear about it. I just, nope. The best way is just to completely just not look at their pictures, not drive by their house, not, I've done that. Just to go cold turkey. If you start thinking about them, force your brain to think about something else, because you're just, we only have a certain amount of energy, and you're just giving all this negative energy and keeping that negative vibration going. And then you wonder, sometimes we draw in similar people, and I've really thought about it. I was like, yes, because I've kind of kept that vibration by keeping resentment or stewing over things or whatever. And so we need to let that go. Why are we allowing something that didn't work out? We can only control ourselves. There's a whole wild card when you're in a relationship of the other person's experience and behavior and thoughts and feelings and the background story they put to things that we all do, and their perspective and how they were raised. It's very hard for two really healthy people to be a good match just because of that, let alone someone that maybe had some issues, and we all have some issues. And so using that experience to moving forward as the touchstone, I don't know what the right word is, doesn't really make sense. And it's that saying, drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. Like, what are we doing? We gotta live our life and start fresh and be happy and move forward, and we'll hopefully have gained some wisdom and do better the next time, and not give this person any more of our time or energy. Just because it looks all perfect and wonderful doesn't mean it is, and you focusing on that will take away your focus off finding your wonderful, right? So, group 3. Hey, group 3. How you doing? So we're using the Thelema Tarot. So this is pick a card is what are they are up to, but I'm just going to tell you these take on a life of their own. So they're messages. It looks like you're going to get a extra card here in the middle for some reason. And this one? Can you guys see that? Yes. What's at the bottom? Okay, so the bottom of the deck for this reading, I'm looking at maybe how the relationship was. So the Magician, magic. This may be someone that came in, that there might have been just a very strong connection right off. Um, I feel like this relationship didn't work out for fundamental differences, not because the person was an asshole, but we'll see um, what cards come up. That they didn't have like a significant personality issue, or they cheated or lied or whatever. It was more a basic incompatibility issue, and that it was frustrating because it really seemed like this is the right person, this should work. And it's so frustrating when on paper and in, it should work, but there's so many millions of little factors that go into whether people can really make a go of it. So that can make it hard to move on. Three of Wands. This is definitely moving on. Maybe they moved. Moving on, maybe they live abroad. Maybe it was long distance. Maybe they're planning on moving away. I think that will be a good thing if they're if you won't run into them. There's some real separation. I think that will be healthy for you. It could be that maybe it ended because they got a job and they were like, "Hey, I'm moving to Asia, or I'm moving across the country, or I'm moving, you know, somewhere that's far enough away that it really makes it difficult." And maybe you really felt like this is the one, but when push came to shove, there was just something missing. It just wasn't right for them, and it was it was a good relationship, and they were honest, and I feel like it was pretty painful because of that. You're just like, man, but I guess you just have to trust the universe that it wasn't right, and you can't force someone to feel like it's right, even if you feel like it's right. There was a real honesty here. With the Ace of Swords, so the truth is being told. King of Wands, two aces. Yeah, I feel like they had a new opportunity, and they are starting their new life kind of somewhere else. Lots of new beginnings. They may have bought a new house. I don't think, I think they're putting on a brave front, but I think they're struggling too. I mean, she's looking after the boat. He's almost looking back at her in a way. It almost looks like to me for some reason. But there was like a truth between you. There was honesty between. It was a legit connection and relationship, but there was some fundamental truth that just, like, some really basic thing that was incompatible. They're sad too. They still feel it. This is going to be something that that you guys really have to get over. Like, it hurts. Both of you are feeling it, and are sad and still love each other. And that makes it's hard enough when one person still feels a connection, but when you both do, but intellectually and practically, wasn't going to work out. Um, and they're moving on with whether they're, oh, this is great, and I'm never thinking about that person again. I don't think that's it. But they're moving out, or they're getting their own place, or they bought their own place, or they're moving, or they're taking a new job. They may decide this is the time to make a big move too, because they need that space as well to be okay with things and to figure things out. And they know they're not going to, it isn't that they don't care, it's that they care so much they actually need physical separation to be able to move on and get over it. Yeah, so the new beginnings going on with them is just their way of processing and moving forward, because what's the alternative? They're like, I just have to keep moving forward. Um, it's in no way like trying to get back at you or a slap in the face at you or anything. It's their own desperate attempt to recover and move forward and move on and pick up the pieces of their life and move forward. Okay, that was shorter than the other ones, but that's kind of sad. I almost want to cry. But that was a pretty clear message that came out for group 3. If you have any ideas for pick a card readings, leave them in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.